Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me today for the month webinar. We're going to get started, and the objective of this webinar is just to get you acquainted with the Harvest of the Month program and to set out the expectations and also share some resources and some lessons learned from our pilot program from the spring. So my name is Jen So, and I am the Harvest of the Month Program Manager for Maine, and this is our webinar. Thank you for joining. So our program objectives for this Harvest of the Month program is to serve more local Maine products in schools, to expose students to new and healthy foods, to support our local producers and Maine's economy, and also to improve the perception of school lunch. So those are the main objectives of this program, and our goal through this program is to provide resources available to schools for free in order to meet these objectives and to support you in meeting these objectives. So the program, like I said, the objective is to serve more local Maine products in schools while supporting our local producers in Maine's economy. A little bit of background about the program. We started a pilot program last spring, 2019, in the beginning of April, to test the waters and to see, what works and what doesn't with a short launch of the program. And so we were successful in launching a pilot with 33 districts across the state at 163 schools. We had over 80 producers that signed up as interested in selling Harvest of the Month products to schools. And we actually opened up the program to summer food service program providers since summertime is the growing season in Maine. We thought that would be a good idea to see how well that would be received. And we had 15 sponsors and over 90 sites in the state participate in that. So we also, through our pilot program, started a evaluation. Some of you who have already participated in Harvest of the Month during the pilot probably were part of this evaluation, but we hired an outside evaluator to run some surveys, do interviews, and also to collect invoices and to see what the total amount of money was spent on local produce in Maine, as well as the poundage, just to see how effective the program actually is. So that report will be published to us later in September, and that will help implement the program moving forward for us. So I just wanted to give some overview of the pilot program and just to show you a little bit of what we did in the spring. In April, we had Maine Dairy Month, and these are some pieces of the artwork that we got made for us through Alana Hernandez, who is our artist for this program. She has created all these beautiful hand-painted and illustrated art pieces for Harvest of the Month. And sorry, I'm trying to click forward here. Here we go. So at Hollis Elementary in April, we had our partner organization, the Maine Dairy and Nutrition Council, set up a surprise dairy visit for us. These are some students here trying some blueberry milk, and they got a visit from Hillary, who is a dairy farmer from Smiling Hill Farm. So that was a really exciting piece of education and an event surrounding the April Harvest of the Month product of Maine local dairy. In May, we had Blueberry Month, Maine Wild Blueberry Month, and I visited Melanie Lagasse up in the county. She made these really beautiful blueberry parfaits here at one of her schools, and in another one of her schools, she made a really delicious blueberry coffee cake. June 2019 was Maine Leafy Greens, which was a little bit hard because this growing season was a bit later than usual. So it was, leafy greens weren't quite growing yet in the ground, but a lot of schools are able to source local leafy greens through hydroponic or aquaponic growers in the state. So this is Falmouth High School, Middle School, and Elementary School. We had Martha Poliquin, who put out local lettuces on her farmer's market salad bar in the middle school and offered a Caesar salad with chicken with aquaponically grown organic green leaf lettuce, which was really beautiful. So I just wanted to go over the pledge and the expectations for the program if you do decide to join. If you sign the pledge and decide to partake in the program, you are pledging to serve the local Harvest of the Month product, which changes every month, at least 2 times per month. So we define local as Maine grown or caught. So that means if you have a product that you'd like to use that is processed in Maine but doesn't use Maine produce or ingredients, that technically does not count for Harvest of the Month. So just make sure if you are sourcing a pre-made product that those ingredients are all from Maine. So another thing that you pledge to do for Harvest of the Month is to display our promotional materials that are sent to you. So that includes posters, fact sheets, and also individual stickers that you can either put onto your products or give out to students. Then those, if you sign up, those will be sent to you. So if you've already signed up, you should receive them this week. If you're signing up after this webinar for the program, you can expect that in the mail in the next 1 to 2 weeks. Another thing that you pledge to do through Harvest of the Month is to track your local purchases. This is just a way for us to see how well the program is doing and how much impact it's making on the state and our local economy. So I know that some of you who have experienced the evaluation of the pilot season, that was a little bit more involved where you had to keep all of your invoices and give us copies. We've streamlined that system for you this year after getting some feedback from you. So I'll go over that in a little bit, but it's a pretty simple process to just track the item, the total poundage, and the price that you spent on your local Harvest of the Month products. And the last thing you pledge to do is to partake in an evaluation. And this is shorter, again, than the evaluation that was given this previous year. It's just going to be a short survey at the end of the school year, just to gauge behavior change and just like how well you thought the program went, in addition to some other questions. So very simple, not as involved as last season's evaluation. Some other things that you can choose to do for Harvest of the Month that would help us out a lot is to send us monthly updates of photos and stories that can be featured on our newsletters and websites and social media. And also, it's a really great idea to use Harvest of the Month as a jumping off point for educational activities such as taste tests or incorporation into classrooms. So we've partnered with some different organizations in the state to help us with supplemental materials. But if you have any of those activities going on and need extra support or want ideas, just reach out and we're happy to help. So here is an overview of the Harvest of the Month calendar for the year. September, which is coming up, is Maine Tomatoes Month. October is Maine Apples. November is Maine Brassicas. And for those of you who don't know what brassicas means, it's simply the cabbage family. So that includes cauliflower, kale, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, broccoli, all of those items. So we wanted to keep that broad so that you would have some choices there. And then December is winter squash. So you don't have to write all this down now. We're going to post this webinar on our website later this week, but also you can find this Harvest of the Month calendar on our website at all times. So through the Harvest of the Month program, if you participate, you get a series of resources from us. Those include free marketing materials, so paper materials that are sent to you via the mail, access to our website, which includes digital versions of those marketing materials, as well as a map of producers and other types of supplementary educational materials. And we give training such as this, and also technical assistance. So if you have any questions about where to source, we do our best to try to help you with that. And you can email me or Stephanie Stombach. We're here to help make this program as successful as possible for you. So the materials, which are very exciting. We're just wrapping up printing the full set of materials for all 12 months. Each month you will get a series of 2 posters per participating school. So if you're a district and you have 10 schools, that means you get 20 posters, 2 per school, and 2 Harvest of the Month fact sheets per month, also per school. You get stickers for your students. So the little round things down there are your examples of stickers. They're about actually that size in real life. And there is an example of the fact sheet over there, which gives some fun facts, some nutritional facts, and also 2 recipes that are scaled up for food service. So that's a really great resource for your food service staff and for you. You'll also get clip art from me via email, so you can use your clip art, which are just those images, the painted images that you can use in your own media. So you can use it on your newsletters or on your menus as a way to advertise your program. So I also just wanted to go over our website a little bit. That is going to probably be your most useful resource and most up-to-date. So if you write down anything during this webinar, I would highly suggest that you write down the website, which is www.maine.gov/DOE/Harvest of the Month. So on that website, you'll be able to find the pledge, the downloadable marketing materials that I just mentioned. You'll get recipes and links to different resources. So beyond the recipes that are available on the fact sheet, there'll be links to other sites that have more ideas for you. And also you'll find the local product tracking tool. So the way that you would track your procurement for the program, that resource is downloadable from the website. And I don't know if I mentioned the map, but you'll also see a map of all of the different schools and districts that are participating in Harvest of the Month in the state of Maine, alongside producers that are interested and signed up as Harvest of the Month producers. So I have some screenshots of the website just to walk you through. So if you type in the www.maine.gov/DOE/Harvest of the Month, it'll land you on this page, which is the home page for the website. On the left-hand side, you're going to see a menu bar with different HOM type things, and that is going to be your navigation bar for the website. So if you scroll down, you'll get some simple information about the program, which is really great to copy and paste into your own PR or to put onto your website. And then you'll see a version of the map if you scroll down a little bit, but you can also see that there is the map, the calendar, the materials, the producers, and the schools, information for schools, all on that tab right over on the left. So if you click on HOM for schools, it'll take you to the pledge right now. So if you are interested in signing up for the program still and haven't done so, please sign the pledge. This is where I get your contact information, which is how I find information to send the paper materials to you. So the only way you'll get the marketing materials is if you sign this pledge. Below you'll find resources like the local procurement tracking tool, and also some information about the local produce fund, which I'll speak about a little bit later as well. And if you have any producers that are interested that you know of that would like to sell for Harvest of the Month, I do have a Harvest of the Month for Producers tab, which gives information to producers about how to best sell to schools. So it's kind of a resource for you guys, but also a resource for potential farmers that are interested in selling directly to you. So if you click on the Harvest of the Month resources page, this is going to be where you get your poster and fact sheet downloadable resources alongside recipes and different educational resources from our partners like Maine Ag in the Classroom. There's a sign up link for their educational classroom materials there, for example. So if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see there are little icons with the artwork next to the month. So if you want to download a digital version of the Maine Tomatoes poster, you can do that here. Everything should be there. If you have any problems accessing it, just let me know. In this map, so under the HOM Calendar tab is the HOM Map tab. And this is simply a Google map that has pins laid out with all of the different schools and districts and farmers and distributors that are involved in Harvest of the Month in Maine. So if you click on an icon, the green icons are the farm or distributor producer icons. So if you click on one of those, you can see that one of the icons has like a white ring around it. It pops out with an information tab. So it will give you the information of the farm, what type of farm or business. It will tell you what type of business it is. So if it's farm, if it's a distributor, if it's a cooperative. It will also give you the name, the contact name, and their email address and their phone number, and all of the different products that they have listed as available. So that will coincide with what month. So if you are having trouble finding a producer for any of your months, I would highly suggest going to this map first and checking it out, because you can see where your school or district is in relation to the different local producers. So we're hoping that this is going to help you find your local products more easily. And if you are having trouble navigating through this, definitely just shoot me an email and I can help either walk you through it again or help you find the information that you're looking for. So as I've mentioned before, we have partnered with some different organizations in the state to help make Harvest of the Month a more rich program, so that if you and your teachers or your district want to use Harvest of the Month as a jumping off point, that it is easier for you, because we know that you're strapped for time and making these resources is very time intensive. So our hope is that you will use this as an educational tool. So Maine Ag in the Classroom has very generously decided to make monthly activity sheets for each Harvest of the Month crop or product. So if you sign up through the link that's on our resources tab, they will automatically send you resources every month that coincide with our products. And those are really useful handouts for students or things that are useful in the classroom. So definitely sign up there. If you have questions, just email me. But it should be pretty easy to find that link on our resources page. We've also partnered with Maine Snap Ed with their Pick a Better Snack program, which their crop calendar largely coincides with ours. So they'll be using Harvest of the Month program products for their education, which is really wonderful. If you check out their website, they have a lot of videos and recipes and different ways to prepare the produce if food service directors want some new ideas. And like I said, in the picture that we saw earlier on with the surprise dairy visit, Maine Dairy and Nutrition Council has also partnered with us, and in the month of April, they sent out educational materials to all the schools that were participating in Harvest of the Month. So that included different posters and activity sheets, and they also did the surprise dairy visit, which was really great. Similarly, the Wild Blueberry Commission of Maine helped us with some recipes and did some taste testings in the schools around blueberries, and also developed a marketing toolkit for social media for us. So that was really great. So the artwork, like I said, is really great. The clip art is a really great way to kind of tailor Harvest of the Month collateral for yourself. So this is an example of a menu that's been decked out with some of our artwork here. This is from Portland Public Schools. Jane very nicely laid this out next to the days that she is serving tomatoes. And I think she has also highlighted in red the items that will be including the local Maine tomatoes, which is really great. You'll also get a monthly newsletter from me that will include the current month, some recipes, links to the resources, and some stories. I like to get out every month and do some site visits and take photos. So that's just a great way to see what other food service directors are doing in the state around Harvest of the Month. So check that out. Make sure it's not going to your spam. It's another nice resource to have. And also, if you happen to take photos of your Harvest of the Month products on the line, or see your students really enjoying something and you happen to snap a picture, I would love to see those. We do have social media on Instagram. It's at Maine HOM, or you can hashtag Maine HOM. And we also have a Facebook page too. So if you want to stay in touch and see what everyone else is doing, this is a great way to do it. Okay, so excuse me, just taking a sip of water. So sourcing the local products. This is probably one of the biggest questions that we get surrounding this program. So our role here at the DOE is to provide you with the materials and resources necessary to promote the program, and also resources like the map. But the sourcing is completely up to each individual district or school. So that means that you can choose to source through your distributor that you're already using if they have local product, which a lot of them do. Or if you already have connections with farmers, that's also great. So you can do one or the other or both. It's very flexible, and if you have any questions, just reach out. But we don't, there are no hard and fast rules about how you source, as long as it is a local product. Local is defined as being grown or caught in Maine. So like I said, you can source your foods directly from farmers or producers or distributors. You can also choose to buy your products from your school garden or greenhouse. That's totally doable. We know that a lot of schools that are participating have some sort of garden or greenhouse, and that's really great. And you can also use USDA foods for Harvest of the Month. So frozen wild blueberries in May, that's an example. That counts towards Harvest of the Month as well. So procurement, this is, again, the fundamental principle. We want to make sure that everything is full and open competition. For the purposes of this program, you're probably going to be doing a micro purchase. That's anything less than $10,000, and you just want to make sure that those purchases are shared equitably across different sources. And another method used is small purchase, so 3 bids and a buy, and you would usually go with the lowest price depending on which of those producers meets all of your requirements. So you can do a geographic preference on that in order to target local foods, but you want to make sure that you're not being too restrictive. So if you're saying like only within 1 mile and there's only one farm showing up or one distributor, you would want to open that up a little wider so you would get at least three or more options there. So yeah, if you're doing that, writing your product specifications down, so the size, quantity, delivery, packaging, and your geographic preference, just make sure that that's all documented there. And if you're interested in learning more about local procurement, there is a really great session on this at the Maine Farm to School Network Conference in October, which I'll put a slide up. I have a slide for later on with details on that. Another great resource for you if you are going to participate in this program and purchase directly from a farmer is to use the local produce fund. It's really exciting because a piece of legislation just passed this year, LD 454, which is an act to encourage the purchase of local produce for public schools, which has increased the available amount of money for the local produce fund to $270,000. It used to be just a fraction of that. I think it's increased about tenfold. So there is more funding this year for local produce, which is great, especially for this program. So the way that this local produce fund works is that for every $3 you spend on a local product, the fund will reimburse you for $1, for up to $1,000 a year per district. So that means if you purchase $3,000 worth of product, you'll get $1,000 back. So just make sure that if you are using this, it's only for produce. Dairy or meat or any type of animal protein doesn't count towards this fund, and you must make sure that you are directly purchasing from a farm or farmer cooperative. So if you are buying local product through Native Maine or Cisco or a bigger distributor, the fund can't be used in that capacity. So make sure you take advantage of this. This is a really great fund and an awesome way to get some money back for purchasing locally. You can find more information on the website about this, or you can reach out to me to get more information. So for tracking local purchases, we have developed a hopefully new and easy tool to make this possible for you in the shortest amount of time possible. You can download this from the Harvest of the Month Resources webpage, which is written right up there. And hopefully you can see this. If you can see, it's just a simple Excel spreadsheet. So I put a sample line there so you could see exactly how you can put in this information, but it's just the date that you're invoiced with the Harvest of the Month product in the month. So for example, December's winter squash, the vendor's name, so whatever farm or distributor you bought it from, the item description. So that's a little bit different from the Harvest of the Month product because it would be whatever the specific product was. So what type of squash or what type of brassica or what type of tomato, like cherry tomatoes or beefsteak. And then we'd want the price per unit and then the unit itself and then the total units purchased and then the total amount of money that you spent on that. And so there is a formula in there. So hopefully that will all make sense to you. I think just play around with it. If it doesn't make sense, just let me know. But I'd also love to know how you menued the item. So you can say what you made for lunch or breakfast. And any feedback about this spreadsheet is welcome. It was an idea that we thought would be easier than keeping copies of your invoices. But if you're finding that you're having trouble with it or have a suggestion to make it better, we are all ears. So like I said, we had an evaluation this past spring of the pilot program. So I just wanted to share a few of the preliminary findings with you. We heard from you that you wanted more lead time to plan, and we totally understand that. Last spring, we were still developing our marketing materials month by month. So they were actually being printed and sent out in the same month, which did not give us a lot of lead time, so we apologize for that. But moving forward, we will be sending out a few months of materials out at a time. So for those of you who have already signed up, you should have already gotten the packages with September, October, and November's items so that you'll have them ahead of time for planning purposes. If you haven't received them by the end of the week, just let me know because then I think something funky has probably happened to your package. We also heard that the cost of local food can be prohibitive, which we totally understand. Local does usually cost a bit more. So our suggestion is to use the local produce fund. It's there for you. We have more money this year, so definitely take advantage of that. And also to use your ingredients as a featured component of the dish. So how can you, say, use local broccoli in a maybe vegetable a veggie pasta dish and just highlight that, use a little bit to stretch a long way. We also heard that Harvest of the Month created a lot of positive press for a lot of school nutrition programs, which is really great to hear. That's one of our goals is to, make sure that your students and your parents are happy with the food that's coming out. So if you have more suggestions on how to create more positive press for yourselves, let me know, and I will work on that. We also heard that you sometimes had a hard time finding local producers. So that, I would say, use your Harvest of the Month map and see what's available there. You can also reach out to your distributors. They often have a whole list of local products that's available by month. So you can plan ahead of time there. And also just try to make connections with the farms that are in your area. If you have any suggestions for farms that you're already working with that you don't see on the map, that you'd like to see on the map, share with other food service directors, that would be great. Just let me know. And we also heard that there was some feeling of redundancy around taking multiple trainings. If you take one training, so an in-person training or even the webinar, you don't need to take another Harvest of the Month training. You just need to do one. So if you are here today and you see that there is an in-person Harvest of the Month training, you don't feel obliged to go to that because it will be similar information. We also heard that there was a desire for a streamlined tracking procurement tool, which we heard you and we made one. So hopefully that will help you as the school year moves along. And again, we're here to hear your comments. And if you have any suggestions, we would love to know what you think. So there's some new resources in the works. One of them, local product tracking tool, like I said. That one it's already made, but we're open to changing it to suit your needs better if necessary. We have some culinary trainings in the works that will be held up here in our building in Augusta, and that will be some different culinary techniques surrounding different Harvest of the Month products. So we have one slated for the fall. So keep your eyes open for an update in a newsletter. We also heard that people would like press release templates so that they can share with their constituents that they're in doing Harvest of the Month with their parents and teachers and all of that. And also we heard that you wanted take-home resources. So the fact sheets right now currently are made for food service directors, but we heard from a lot of you that there is a need for resources that you can give to students to take home. So we'll be working on that in this school year as well. So this month is Tomato Month. These are the different pieces of artwork that have been made for this month, which are super beautiful. After the webinar, I'll be sending out an email to everyone that signed up to participate in Harvest of the Month with the small versions of the clip art so that you can use it in your own marketing. We have some upcoming events that are really great that I mentioned before. The Maine Farm to School Conference is on October 4th at Hinckley, in Hinckley. And something of special interest is that there is a pre-conference session on local food procurement, and that is free. That is going to be a 3-hour training, I believe, that counts towards your training hours. So that I would highly suggest you go to if you're interested in learning more about local food procurement. It should be a really great session. And as mentioned before, we're going to be doing a culinary training sometime this fall at the Child Nutrition Office in Augusta. So stay tuned for more details about that. Once our kitchen is all built out, we'll be planning that one. It'll be really exciting. A farmer / chef will be leading that. So it'll be a really interesting session. And if you have any questions at all, please feel free to call me or email me here at jen.so@maine.gov. And if you need assistance immediately, I'm only in the office twice a week, usually on Wednesdays and Thursdays. If you need some assistance immediately, you can contact Stephanie Stombach, who it will probably be a little bit easier to get a hold of, and her contact information is right there. Yes, so thank you so much for joining me for the webinar today, and please feel free to reach out with any other questions.